Riddle me this, subscribers. What is the most valuable thing you could have when you're making stuff? It's not the tools you have, it's not your materials. Time, yeah, but you don't really have control of that. What you do have control of is space. And if you live in a little apartment like I do, space is kind of at a premium. So today, I'll take care of that for myself, because right now, I don't have much of a space to make stuff. This is kind of the best I got going for me, and it's lackluster at best. Oh, crikey. So, what do you do when you need a workspace to make your cool stuff, and you need to get it out of the way for the rest of your life to take place in the meantime? Well, you go hunting. Living in an apartment can be, kind of drag sometimes. You don't always have a ton of options. You never really have much privacy. There's one thing you always got plenty of. Other people's trash. Get a load of all this crap. Look at it. Look at it. I'm so proud of myself. All I had to do was hang out around the trash cans like a feral raccoon for a month, but we got a lot of lumber. It's like plywood from an IKEA bed, I think. Oh, that was a terrible idea. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, parked like a crib, which you'll see what I use this for later. And lastly, it's a whole ass table. So you're about to see how with nothing but a table, I'm gonna make another table. Check this thing out. This thing is built poorly. It's like a bunch of glue and some nails. So I think I can disassemble this thing with like a hammer. Probably better ways to do it, but didn't work. How was this thing put together? Yeah, this thing definitely made by hand by somebody. Let's unmake it by hand. That'll work. Oh, what if I break it? That'll frickin' work. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Oh, look at that little plug. Someone worked really hard on this. I kind of feel bad. I'm a professional. Good enough. Got a little breakage in some spots, but nothing we can't glue back together. I don't know where my clamps are, so tape. By the way, if there is anything about the way that I am going about making this table that upsets you, or you think you know a better way, you are 100% correct on both counts, and you should let me know about it in detail in the comments after you subscribe. Thank you. Whoever made this table lovingly routed beautiful edges all along the outside, but table's too big. Pro tip, if you want to cut a straight line, hold out your pointer finger on your tool, and your line will be straight sometimes. What'd I tell you? Ow! That was my frickin' hand. Stupid. Comments. Leave it in the comments. I'm fine. I'm fine. And that right there is why I hate batteries. Helps to use sandpaper, huh? And I may have spent the weekend at a Scandinavian festival drinking a lot of beer and getting sunburnt and carrying my wife through an obstacle course, as you do. So I'm a little sore, but we carry on. what I call woodworking. That works so much better upside down. I feel like that's a design flaw, but whatever. Awesome, 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 awesome. I might not know what I'm doing, but I know a good glue up when I see one. Kind of like reverse tiger stripes going on. I dig it. I think that the top here is looking really cool. However, I don't think the same can be said for the plywood around the outside, so we're gonna try something. This is Noodler's Bulletproof Black Fountain Pen ink. Pretty obscure stuff, but what it does is it's actually an anti-check counterfeiting ink, and it bonds with cellulose in paper and ostensibly wood, and dyes it completely black and is permanent forever. So I'm gonna try to use this to completely blacken this ugly looking plywood. Good idea? Bad idea? I don't know, but it's certainly an idea. Before, after. I like it. It's working, it's not coming up, it's in there, and it got rid of all of this ugly whiteness, which, ooh, that sounds racist. I like it better than it was before, and we're moving on. Do you hear that? Is that something on the roof? The pitter-patter of little hooves? Guys, it's Jeff Bezos! I got some hinges on Amazon. These things are pretty cool, pretty cheap, and definitely way cheaper than Home Depot. I don't know what's going on with those guys, but stuff's really expensive there. Then we lift it up. Beautiful. Oh, that rocks. The screws that came with it were too big. They started to poke through the top, so can't use those. So I went out to the garbage and found this thing with these screws, and these should be perfect. I've got a decision to make here. These other two legs, if I put them exactly on the sides and line them up like the other ones, they're gonna kind of pop up like that when it's folded shut, and it's not gonna be as portable as I would like it. Option 2 is have them be like this, which I do think looks a lot better when it's folded up. And then when they're folded out, the legs would be about here. I think that would look all right. Yeah, and then I could make it structurally secure later. I could put in like blocks and stuff. Awesome. This is my pull saw. There are many like it. This one is mine. That don't cut it. I need it to be straight. How do I make it straight? Once more into the breach. 3 pieces of plywood on each side holds this up directly in the center of these 2 boards, which are in turn wedged perfectly level with 2 more pieces of plywood. So I was going through the sides here, trying to line it up and going through all that work because I didn't want to put anything else on top of here. I didn't want to add any thickness to the board, and I forgot. I clear got like an inch of space underneath the legs. I just go down from the top. Easy. Would have been easier if I remembered it before I cut up all the cool looking pieces, but whatever. I don't want anyone to think that I'm not considering safety with this. I am certainly not being safe, but I am considering safety. I just realized I had a cool opportunity here with this cross brace on the smaller inset legs. It'll add extra support if I put it right here. You'll see when it's done. I am incredibly satisfied with how well this thing turned out. Learned a couple things. Number 1, I need to buy clamps. I'm gonna go buy clamps. As soon as I'm done filming this, I'm going to buy clamps. I kind of figured it out as I went along, but it's mostly what I had in my head, so I'm really happy with it. Feels really stable when it's out and deployed. The legs are a little tight, so if I were to do it again, I might, measure. But it was really satisfying the last day of the build where it all kind of came together and I could feel it getting more and more solid. To have the picture of it in my head and just being able to brute force a bunch of essentially trash into what I wanted. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Things I would do differently if I were to try again, I would measure. I would buy clamps. I would make sure the casters actually fit the way I wanted them to on the legs, and that way I wouldn't have had to print these PETG brackets for them. but they're holding up all right. We'll see how they last. I'm curious what your approach to something like this would be. The essence of this isn't really to be copied, it's really more to be a template for future inspiration. So if you have any ideas of what your ultimate workbench would be, let me know. I kind of left mine a bit of a blank slate because I don't really know exactly what I'll need to use it for yet, but that's what makes it perfect, is that I have the ability to totally build this out into any configuration that I will need in the future, and I'm looking forward to it. So thanks for watching, everyone. This is the second video in this series where I'm building out a makerspace in this tiny one-bedroom apartment. To be honest, I'm kind of good now. I'm kind of good to just make stuff. But for you all out there, what else would you like to see? What kind of makerspace essentials do you want to see compactified and portableized or anything like that? If you want to see what I did in the first episode where I made my own 3D printer station in the corner over there, you can check that out right there. And until next time, keep those tips frosted.